Today we're going to do a tutorial about how to make your own wine at home and in remote locations. Isn't that wonderful? Look at that rainbow. Making your own wine at home is easy. It takes about 10 days to prepare. You're going to need grape juice, 100% grape juice with no preservatives. I like to use a nice water bottle, about a 2-liter water bottle. And you're going to need a glass cup, a 2-cup measuring glass, and a funnel. You will need baking yeast and sugar, fine granulated sugar. All right, so let's get started. We got all these items, the sugar and our baking yeast. Get those ready to go. And we have our 2-liter water bottle. That way it's nice and clean. We don't have to worry about it. And we have our grape juice. The grape juice has to be 100% grape juice. Make sure it doesn't have any additives, no mixes, and it must say no preservatives. Has to have no preservatives at all. And we're going to take our 2-cup measuring glass here, and of course our small drinking glass. They're all going to come in handy. Just a common funnel will work good if you got a funnel around the kitchen. For every liter that you're going to make, you want 1 cup of sugar. So I have a 2-liter container, so I'm going to pour 2 cups of sugar into my measuring glass. There you go, 2 cups. Make sure we got that 2 cups in there. All right, we'll just set that down. We're going to take our drinking glass and we're going to put a couple scoops of sugar in there. And I'll show you why in a moment. We're going to use that to activate our yeast. There you go. Put a couple scoops of sugar in there. Now we're going to take our funnel, put that on top of our 2-liter water bottle, and pour the rest of that sugar in there. Just take your time with it. Now we're going to take our grape juice, 100% with no preservatives. Let's just open that up. And we're going to pour some of that down in there on that sugar. Just kind of getting ready for the rest of the process. Just take your time so you don't make a mess. You don't pour it all over the place. Get that first liter in there. Now I'm going to put a little bit into that sugar that we poured earlier, okay? Remember, this juice has to be room temperature. Now, just take 1 scoop. I just use a small teaspoon. That's all you need of the yeast. Stir it up. It gets all mixed up with that sugar, and this will help to activate the yeast. Over about 15, maybe 20 minutes, you will see it start to froth up on top. That is the yeast starting to come to life and eating the sugar that's in this juice. This is activating your yeast, and this will really help. Look at how it's starting to get thicker on top now. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and pour that activated yeast in there. There we go. Go ahead and top off the juice to right about here. There you go. That way you got a little bit of air on top. Screw that top on, and you see how I got the sugar in the bottom there still? We're going to give this a good shake and liquefy all that sugar. You want to get all that sugar that's in there liquefied into the juice. This also helps to aerate the mixture. There we go. Now you see we still got some more in there. We got some more sugar at the bottom. You have to shake it up a little bit more. All right, we got it all liquefied now. It's all liquefied into the grape juice. Now we're going to just leave that cover lightly on top. We want it to not be screwed down. Make sure you store this for 10 days in a room temperature, dark location. You see all those bubbles? That's the CO2. The CO2 is a byproduct of the yeast eating the sugar. And that's what creates alcohol. Here you see this one is bubbling up pretty good. You got a real bubble action going on this one. Got to make sure that those covers stay extremely loose. Just barely set the cover on top. Look at this. You can see a good close-up shot of that CO2 bubbling. Okay, after 10 days, you now can go ahead and do what's called racking. I take these small, they're about a half-liter containers, slowly pour the juice into these containers. You don't want to mix up the sludge that's at the bottom of this, okay? It's going to be some sludge at the bottom. You don't want to mess with that. So slowly pour out the wine at the end of the 10 days. The fermentation process will be over. You won't even see any more bubbles after that. Here we go. We're going on the third one now. Notice how I keep the bottle very steady so that it doesn't slosh around. And let's see how much we get in the fourth one. Pretty good job. This is the lees. It is the byproduct of yeast eating sugar. You don't want to pour that out. And this is what it looks like with a little bit of ice in there. I like to have a little bit of ice in mine. Give it a little taste test, and it does make a very tasty wine. Not too sweet, not too dry. And we're going to put the covers on these and put these in the refrigerator now. Once we put these in the refrigerator, you will notice that over the next couple of days, a little bit more sediment will settle into the bottom of these as well. So you pour out of there slowly, and that process is called racking. You basically racked them one time. It tastes just fine to me. And cheers to you. You can make wine just about any location that you are on Earth, and you can always have a little bit of wine for yourself. Cheap process, easy process. Give it a try. Thanks for watching.